What's up guys, today I'm going to be playing UFC 4 and I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to improve your striking and just get better at striking and not getting outboxed by someone or kicked by someone, and just basically doing better, knocking people out more and getting more wins. So I'm going to explain the tip I will give and then I'll show it live in a game so therefore you can see and understand. So the first tip is the different fighting styles that there is, because you can just go in, throw, and just hope it works, but most of the time it won't. If you actually have a game plan, it will improve everything you do, because you'll know what you're actually doing before you just go in and throw, sort of thing. So the main fighting styles that I use, there's probably more, but these are just the main two I use, is either being the pressurer, so the aggressor, someone walking forward, stopping your opponent, being able to, like, basically control the fight. And you can use this to drain their stam, damage their block enough, so therefore you can then just unload and knock them down. And basically, there's not much they can do. It's pretty strong in this game, to be fair, when done right. But then the other one is complete opposite to that, which is more like a, I don't know what you would call it, but like just being more defensive, evasive, not getting hit, making them whiff and waste their stam again. Because wasting stam, best thing you can do in this game. For them anyway, not for you. You want to save your stam. So I alternate between these two a lot as well. But I'm going to show them both. First fight, I'll do the pressure style, which I'll only use that. I won't do nothing else. That'll just be the main thing. Then the second fight, I'll do this like outbox and evasive one, which I use more for defense, and I will alternate between the two. But for now, I'll just use one. So the first fight, we do the pressure style, and I'll show you how to do it effectively. Because you do want to be careful, because you can get caught quite easy doing it. And I'm going to use Conor McGregor just because he's the one I use a lot in this weight class. So, and most of these will work against anyone if done right, but certain styles work better against certain types of other players. So you kind of want to be good at all of them, and then you can kind of switch between whichever ones you like to use and that sort of stuff. Or you can mix and match in between, like you don't have to stay as one thing the entire fight. So, because obviously if you're trying to pressure on, it's not working, you can then go to more the distance one, make him whiff and stuff, and that can also work as well. But for this, I'm going to be trying to pressure him, just eat at his block, drain his stam, and so I'm going to go straight forward. This dude, is he playing? Okay, I've got his plan. So I'm going to constantly go forward, but not always walk in. So as he punched, I walk back. I'm not going to be just constantly running into him, because that's going to get me hurt. So I'm constantly keep close, but not let him push me back. And also, don't always hold the stick walking into them. When you're in front of them and they're not walking back, you just let go of the left stick, and just, when you throw, you'll then throw stronger, more powerful, and faster shots. But look, I'm not letting him do nothing, and he's not really hurting me, because every time he does, I will do a little step back, just so I don't walk into a shot, because you don't really want to do that. But he's using a lot of these. See, I wanted to knock out there, that's not what you want to do. But he's using a lot of these, and I'm not going to go super close to him, but I'm just going to get him back and try and tap his body a bit to waste his stam a bit. So I caught his kick. That's fine, he can do that. But no, I've got him on the back foot now. But he's kicking me, he's hurting me a bit, but not much is going for it, because I am hurting him equally as much. Because this dude's doing the same sort of style as me, so we're both trying to pressure each other, and it's just whoever is better at it, realistically. But his block's now gone, so now I should be able to do a nice little combo. And he should get hurt by it. There we get his body. There we go. And I will use kicks as well to push him back a bit, because the further he is away, the closer he is to the cage, the less options he has to really get out of it. So, and using these elbows, kicks, some kicks, leg kicks can be good, and kicks when you're not in the right range can also be good. Like that kick I do particularly like, because it pushes them back and gives you a chance to advance on them. So I'm just kind of getting him down, got him rocked. Gonna go to the body a bit just to waste his stam. And whenever he uses the knee, I just kind of wait, and then I will look for a counter, because sometimes there's an opportunity to counter after it. Some people do knees and elbows, which you've got to be careful of, because that will hurt, but I'm just kind of constantly there, and I will try and slip when possible, but I'm not going to make it my main thing, because I'd rather eat it with my block and guarantee I'm not going to get knocked out by it. Because the closer you are, the less chance you have to actually see what they're throwing, so you can make more mistakes. But let's see, he threw a combo, I backed up just a tad. Not enough to give him a lot of space, just so I'm not in his, like, shots. Maybe when he does 2 jabs on the hook, I just kind of eat it and it's fine, then I try and counter his body or... I went into an uppercut because I went body. Timed that well, to be fair. But even though my stam's a bit low, which you don't necessarily want, he's going to be quite damaged, so... Yeah, I got him rocked. And also his block's also quite damaged, so as the rounds go on, he's not going to have much block left to be able to block your strikes. He did catch you well there. You done well. But it's constantly going forward, but try and not go into too many shots, because you can back up a bit. You don't have to be like constantly glued to him, but you also don't want to be walking into stuff, so it's kind of like... It's a quite a hard style to get used to, but once you do, you can do alright with it. He's rocking me here. Something below. He went for a kick, I done a quick little straight, and it went straight to him and rocked him a bit, which then stopped him being able to pressure me so much and hurt me, because I'm going to have to back up a bit now, because he's hurting me a bit too much. But it's fun. He done a hook, he done an uppercut, I done one. Gonna catch his leg. And we got him rocked again. And now he's right against the cage, which is where you want him. You want him against the cage as much as possible. And because his block's now getting knackered, there's going to be more gaps in it. Yeah, I'm blocking him. He's done well than taking out my stamina, to be fair, but it's not too bad for now. But for now I'm just trying to keep him pressured, not give him any space, because this dude is quite good with kicks. So we don't want to give him too much space, because the more space he has, the more kicks he can do. So he went head for that one. Oh, he timed an uppercut again. Ooh, and he got me. There, I got an uppercut on him. Okay, just step back a bit, just so I wasn't directly in his punches. Give him a little kick as well. Kicking you can do, but if when you're very close, you want to be careful, because it can hurt if you time it wrong. My stam's very low. Yeah, this style does also work for someone who has more stamina. Connor is probably not the best person to use this with unless you knock him out quick with it, because his stamina is incredibly low. But you can work. You just basically want to keep them back, try and damage their blockers can, and not throw too... You need to throw enough, but not too much that you're going to drain your stamina. So you need to find that sort of balance with it. But this dude's also doing the same sort of style. Whether he knows it or not, I don't know. It's working. His stamina's very high, so we just want to keep him kind of at a distance, but he's not really backing up, so... But we got him there. He went for a kick, that's when you go, because he won't have nothing. But he can deal with his little punches, but... I thought I was going to hit that, okay. Well, I'm just going to jab to break his block, because after 2 jabs, his block's done. So if you do 2 jabs and overhand, it will probably land, whether he's blocking or not. Because jabs can actually damage a block a lot more than like an overhand can. Yeah, just 4 little strikes, they start landing now. Yeah, just on my body though, which is not good. So I'm just going to back up a bit while my body recovers, because backing up, you can still back up. It's very wise to back up. I'm going straight on the pressure, ducked his thing, done a little hook. Because he went for a kick, I saw it, ducked, lovely. And it's all because of the pressure, really, like, because some people do get a bit desperate towards the end. So, yeah, so that's tip 1, is, or like fight style pressure 1. So now we're going to do the more relaxed, like, just keeping to the outside, slipping, doing longer, like, straights, more jabs, more leg kicks, more, because you're going to be at that sort of, like, kicking range a lot more. Because therefore it gives you more time to react and stuff. And I'm going to try and do it against the same build if he wants to. Because I can show you the difference on... Because he should realistically fight the same, so... If he's gonna say, okay, does accept, good. Now with this sort of style, it is better to have someone who has quite fast, like, who can move quite fast, just because then you can get in and out of range a lot better and that sort of stuff. Now, both go the same peel, which makes it a lot better for demonstration purposes, to be fair, so... Because typically you do want to alternate between the two, but this is just to show you how to do one of each, like, in full. And there's probably many other different types of styles you can do as well, so... But these are just the main two I use a lot, so... So now we'll touch gloves if he wants. Yeah, touch gloves. But now, rather than go straight to him, I'm just going to keep on the outside and keep a lot more patient. And try and just tap his body. Not going to do too much, really. Whereas before, he was constantly pushing me back. But I'm not going to go straight back to the cage. I'm going to try and rotate around so my back's not against the cage. So I kind of stay in the middle circle bit. So I'm just going to slip it, then we try and counter. But I'm not going to go, not really trying combos, really, just little ones here and there. Going to kick the legs as well, just because they're there, you might as well. And also, they might open up his head later on, because he might think you're going legs and you go ahead. Yeah. He can pressure all he wants, but he's not doing much. And then I stop him with a jab, then try a little combo, because I saw he wasn't going to be able to do nothing. So that dodges kick. Little leg kick, which you can throw that close. It is risky though, but I assumed he wasn't going to throw. Little teep to the body, just again, lower his stam a bit. Because the lower his stam is, the easier the fight will be, realistically. Get another leg kick. Now, you can get close, but you just kind of, you want to play a bit, a lot more patient as well. You don't need to pressure him. You want him to come to you and then walk into your shots, essentially. And another little leg kick. And notice this time, I'm not really getting punched much, like, I'm the one doing the punching. And the kicking. He's got a little kick there, but it's fine. And just keep him back. Using kind of like longer range stuff to make space as well. You've got that kick, which is a pretty safe kick to use, and it pushes him back. Another little kick to the body. Mainly working the body just to lower his stam. Using jabs and straights. Went into another uppercut. That's fine. And you kind of always want to be moving back or rotating around and stuff. Still trying a lot of uppercuts, okay. We'll hit him 1-on. There you go. But the only time I sort of will use combos is if he's in a place where he's not holding his block up, or if he's mid, like just throwing something, then that's when you kind of want to use combos. But most of the other time you just want to kind of jab, not do too much. Kind of little kicks here and there just to kind of stop him coming forward, really. Because he's pushing forward quite a lot. But... yeah, another little kick to the body. Now going to go up top. He blocks it. He's playing a lot more patient as well, though, to be fair. But... oh, come on. Actually, my kick still did land, so that's fine. Now, I can now pressure him a bit because he's now not pressuring me so much as well, so it does open up, but... now you got that. And this time I've got a lot more stamina than the last game, all because I've just been chilling a bit, essentially. Like, you don't want to overcommit to enough, you just want to guarantee the stuff that will land. So if he's not blocking low, kick his legs. If he is blocking low, kick him in the head or jab him in the head, or just switch it up. So if he has to block both and think more. So he went to kick, I made him miss. Oh, I thought I ducked that, but well. So anytime he advances, give him a little kick to the leg, or a little like jab, or just something to stop him being able to run up on you, essentially. And most of the time, I'm keeping within like the middle circle. That's kind of where you want to be. You don't want to be against cage, because bad stuff happens. So. But at least you still got space to go back, and you're not being pressured too much. So, well, see, I ran into that kick. That's not what I'm gonna do. It's fine. He then ran into my little jabs. That's fun. Gonna throw some head kicks now, just to try and reopen up the legs a bit. Because even though my leg kicks don't do much damage, they still can open up shots to the head. Because he might try and block a leg kick when he thinks going to do one, but then it could be a head kick. Like then he went to block low, but I done a jab. And that then guaranteed the jab to land. That was just a whiff, really. Now he's blocking low a lot, so that means a couple little punches should land on his face. Then we'll block kick legs again. And that was the first round. And this dude's not awful either, so it makes it a bit easier to show, I guess, so. I'm going to do the same thing again. We're just going to kind of chill back. This dude's actually stopped throwing so much, which is kind of smart from him, to be fair, but... Again, we're just going to try and lower his stam, because he's doing quite well with stam. You also kind of always want to be switched between going between body, legs, head, just to always keep it kind of guessing in a sense. Because I'm always keeping just out of his range. So therefore, as he comes in with something, I can throw straight and it should land. Like that. As he went to throw, use a straight to intercept, then do an uppercut. Or a hook, or something that's just going to hit and land, essentially. And do damage. Again, we're going to start kicking his legs again. Tried to punch him, but that kick's a bit hard to time. Again, just kind of keeping at a distance, not going straight into the cage, but... I'm going to go body again. Give him a little kick as well. Then I'm going to use some hooks. He uses that kick, makes some space, that's fine. Again, we're just kind of just chipping away at him, really. Not trying to knock him out as such. Obviously, that's the goal, but we're not going out away for it. We're just waiting for it to occur. Again, attacking his body, attacking his legs. Now we're going to do a little combo. That could have gone bad for us before. Again, attacking the legs. Even though I haven't done any really damage to his legs, over time they have, but there's not been any like big leg kicks that I think. He done a slow kick. I'm just going to do a little combo on him. And again, just keep jabbing. And now, just by me playing like more evasive and stuff, I'm pushing him back now. Because anytime he comes into range, he's getting battered, so he's like panicking and going back a bit. And you can just constantly push him back, and then, yeah, it's working well. And if someone gets predictable, you can add counters in as well, which then makes it more effective. But this dude's not throwing a whole lot to really counter, so... I've done a little combo, but I wasn't going forward. I was just doing it because he was in my space, so... And he got it that. Ooh, that was my bad. Should have backed out. That's fun. But because I'm in a nice safe distance, he can't do nothing from it, so it's fun. Then we're going to work his body some more. That kick does a lot of damage. Not a fan of it. Then we do a little combo again. Same thing as last time. Just combos, he comes in, he gets hit by him, stops him being able to do much to you, so... There you go, because his block's been low. So now I've got nothing left. My stam's low though, which is annoying, but it's been a little head kick. He might have dropped his guard, but again, leg kicks, just because they're gonna land because he's not blocking them much. Nice little body shot. Again, the man needs to try and drop the guard, lower his stam, kind of helps like that. Because he thought I was going to go body, he dropped his guard, I knocked him down. I'm just doing the same stuff. Now, I'm going forward quite a bit. But he's going back, so I'm kind of just keeping the same distance. And just trying to attack him enough. Yeah, I changed up my kick. It's the first time I use that kick and it lands, because he was not expecting it. And because his block's also quite knackered as well. We can now factor him. And this is when you typically want to start using combos. When their block's low, that's when you want to use combos. As he was punching, I started punching. My punch landed a lot harder. Simple. He done helpful there, so... Yeah, so they're the two styles I use. There's probably other ones you could probably find. If you want more, I can do some more, because I probably do them. I don't really look into styles too much, but they're the two styles I typically use. And often I alternate between them, so when I'm pressuring, I then do it, but then when I get hurt, I then go into more the offensive, like, kind of defensive slip in, that sort of stuff. But you don't want to also always be slipping, you want to kind of keep it there. So, the next tip I got is about distance and movement, which you might have got a bit there. I was talking about distance a bit because it's kind of very important, so. But your distance will, depends on who you're going against, like not who you're going against, but what type of fight you're going against. Because if you're against someone who's very good at kicking, you don't really want to be in the kicking range if they're better at kicking than you as such. Because if they're better than you at kicking, they're probably going to land better kicks than you, because if your kick time is not great, you don't know kick combos and all that stuff. So that's then you're going to want to go into more the close range where their kicks are then not effective. And if you're better at close range than them, you're then probably going to win that most of the battles if you can keep in that fight. So again, I'm using Conor McGregor, same thing, but you kind of just want to keep. So you got like close range, which will be like here, and then you got like kicking range, which is like here, and then your outer range, which is where you want to be most of the time, and then have them come into it. And the other thing is, I don't know if people know this or not, because a lot of people I fight against, they don't seem to quite that, at least anyway. But if you're walking this way, so if you're walking like towards their power hand, punches are going to hurt more, especially if they do hooks that side, and vice versa the other side as well. So if they're using a lot of, like, say a lead hook, you don't want to be walking into it, because if you walk into punches, it hurts more. Same thing as if you're walking back, like he was walking into a punch as while throwing, I was walking back, so he walked into my fist more, it does more damage. Which is how most people get knocked out when they don't expect it. Well, the same thing is, if I stand still, his punches, they hurt, but they don't do much, you see. And he was actually really nice and backed off, because he probably thought I stopped playing or something, but yeah. So that if you stand still, they do less than if you're walking into them or whatever, so that's better. Realistically, you do want to be walking out of punches range, but it's another way to keep it alive quite well. Which is why I can stand here quite happily, and he won't be able to do too much to me. Like, it can hurt, but it's better than ducking into more stuff. And the other thing you can do is if you've got someone who's pressuring you a lot, like you can't make no space, if you hold on PlayStation, it's R1 and block, and if you walk back, you can put your hand out, and then you get space, which it does use your stam, but if someone's really pressuring you, you can do that to, again, make space and not be getting pressured so much. And it's also like, you don't want to be throwing kicks when you're like here, because they won't do no damage and you have a high chance of getting countered. Like, which it can work, but you don't typically want to. And same like, you don't want to be throwing punches when you're out here, because it's not going to reach, is it? So distance is very important for mainly doing damage and not taking damage. Because if you're out of range, it's not going to hit, and if you're moving away from the strikes, they're going to hurt less than if you're walking into them, so. And the other thing, your punches and combos will be a lot quicker if you're standing still. Because if you're walking forward and throwing combos like that, it's not going to do much. But if I stand still, plant your feet, then it hurts. Because if I was walking forward and doing that, it wouldn't have been as quick or as effective. But you kind of want to stand still and then throw. But also sometimes if they're moving, it makes it difficult. Because you need to like time it essentially to when to throw while not moving. Stuff like that. I just didn't move, and it was fine when he went for my body. And then I just do a little jab because I was standing still, has more power to it. It kind of quite powerful anyway, so that helps, but it applies to everyone really. Just something that more power, less power, that sort of stuff. That's all the movement you really need to know, really. Like, and obviously, if you use the same fighter like repeatedly, you'll then get to know where their kick range is, where their punch range is, and you'll be able to just know when it's going to land and when it's not going to land. Because like, you want to be always landing, because the more you land, high chance you have knocking them out, less stamina you waste as well, and the more you hurt them, which is the whole objective of playing this game, really, isn't it? So that I went into a hook, but because I'm backing up, it's not doing much. Then he went for a kick too close. My punch will reach his face before his kick does, so that's what you want. And then I planted my feet, done a little combo, he's out. That's basically all you want to do with like distance and when to do certain stuff. And then also, if you're very close to the pressure with someone, you can use knees and elbows quite a lot, but I don't play like that often, so you can though, if you so want. Like some people love spamming knees and elbows, and against certain people it can, because they don't have to deal with it, so if you want to just get a couple easy wins, spam knees and elbows, probably do alright for you. Because if you're against someone who's a bit not great at the game. And now, the next thing a lot of people like to know about is what combos to use. Now, personally, I don't really practice combos, I have a few I can do, and I just stick to them. Because you might see, well, you've probably seen many times during that fight, you often use a jab straight and a hook, or a jab straight uppercut, or jab, hook, body hook, that sort of stuff. I don't really go too crazy with combos. But the main thing is when to use them, because some people, they spam combos like just combo after combo after combo, they then drain their stam. And it can work if you're against someone who isn't blocking while one saying, but typically better people will block. So you kind of want to wait for them to be an opening. Like if they're about to punch or kick you, for example, you could then jab, that will then interrupt their kick, and then they're open for a bit. That's when you want to do a combo to make the most out of it. Whether that's to the body or to the head or both, it will then do damage to them. So that's the main thing you really want to get good at. Timing when to like intercept them, and then do your own combo on that. Which I will try and show in this. Because that's how to knock people out realistically. Because you can get one punch knockouts and stuff, but a lot of people who don't have much punch power, they need to use combos to get knockouts and stuff, so. Or you can just wear them down after a while, but if you want to get the combos like nicely. And also the reason why combos are good is when you punch, it takes your stam. So if you do like say a jab and then you wait a bit then do a straight, your stam will still be low, so the straight will have a spat. But when you do a combo, all the punches use the same like energy from when they were first done. So you don't lose the bit of stam from the jab and the straight, so your hook then will have the same power as your straight would, energy-wise. So you kind of want to just wait for them to do something. You don't have to wait, but like, you want to intercept, then that's when you do combos. Every other time you should just do like a little single thing, just to kind of wear them down. Or if you see their blocks low, that's when you want to do a combo. So I typically don't throw more than 2 punches most of the time. Unless I know they're going to land. I got a little jab, and then now I see he's injured, so that's when I'll do a combo. Now combos you want to use, I use a lot of ones that go to the body, just because the body's quite good. But you can look at there's like a combo list that most people have, so some fighters have different combos, like, because they've got different boxing levels and kickboxing levels. Kick combos I don't really use much, because my kicks are probably one of the weaker bits when it comes to striking, but I use a bit like that, so that's just like a little jab kick thing, does quite well. But so he done a little combo there, I can eat them, and then I like to do a little jab straight. I think it's like jab straight body hook is what I use a lot. But I don't really know what combos I use, I just kind of do them. So you can probably just look at the combo list and just see what kind of you think will work. Try in the practice round, in the practice range. No, well, they're like a training room thing, whatever it's called. I don't know. There's a training room. When you're against it, so they either sit in her or whatever, so you can just batter them essentially. Just try combos, see what works, practice them low so you can do them without thinking about it, and then you can just use them whenever you want, really. Because I don't use a whole lot of combos. Like then I saw he went for that, went for one, and now because he's injured, it kind of works. Also, when their block gets low later on in the fight, that's when you want to use combos, because you can, the first 2 punches will batter their block, and then you can then punch them in the face. Yeah, try and always mix up your combos. Have a couple that can do like just pure head damage. Have some that can do legs and body, and some that can just kind of mix it up. And also try and get ones that don't all start the same, because a lot of people, they just have jab straights and then hooks all saying, and you can kind of then predict what's coming. But some you want to start with a hook and then go into a straight or whatever. So then you kind of just mix it up. I have some that even start with a kick. So one of the combos I do is I do like a kick with my lead leg, and then I do a punch after it. But it's not going to do it now, is it? Yeah. So you can do that as well, because then it kicks a leg and you get a little punch in as well, so it kind of works. Yeah, this dude's working a bit, but it's fun. So now he's going body, but it's fun. Okay, this dude's actually doing quite good. But to be fair, I do struggle to talk and like play to some degree, which it's not the most helpful thing, but we try. He's battering me here though. Ooh. But he's using combos, and his combos are working. He's doing some straight shots, but then when he sees I'm like in a position where combos would hit, he uses them. So he's doing quite well. Because like, you kind of just always want to try and use combos when possible, but not overdo them, because they will drain your stamina if you miss them as well. So also, if you get someone who slips a lot and does a lot of slipping, try and avoid them, because he can often time when you're like that. Like if I was to do a combo there, that would have wasted a lot of stamina. And you kind of, like I said, you always want to keep your stam up, because if you've got more stam, it's kind of like a second health bar essentially. When your stam gets low, you're then taking more damage. Which is why this dude's body wouldn't fuck, because my stam's very low right now. And also, you can combine all these tips together, really, because if you have like a good, if you pick a fighting style to stick in for a bit, keep the distance and movement to where you want. Don't like plant your feet when you need to, and then if you plant your feet when you're going to throw a combo, and if they're in range of it, it will then do even more damage as well, which is how you typically knock people out. So kind of need to do like all of these things all together, and then you're pretty solid realistically. I don't think there's much else. If you need any other tips or have any ideas for tips videos I could do, I will do them, because I do a lot of striking in this game. Obviously I'm not the best, but I do a lot of striking, so. And especially if you only want to play like standard bang, quick play, then these will probably work. Because I play it quite a lot, and there's not many times someone's actually been like an issue for me. So, but this has been a bit of an issue, because he's drained my stamina a lot, but. I planted well, and I got knocked out. Oh, that's a split 5 even got down. But yeah, but you kind of see how combos are used. I didn't do very well there, but combos, the main thing to do is just go into the, I think it's like a practice mode or whatever, and just pick a few combos, pick one at a time, and just learn it, get it done, so you can then do it whenever. It don't even have to be long combos. You shouldn't need more than like a 4-punch combo, to be fair, because most of the time you're only going to need like 3. Get like 2 or 3 free ones, get 1 4th one that has 4 combos in it, and then go from there. But yeah, I hope this video is helpful to you. If you want any more tips, let me know, and I shall see you all next time.